Data plus coaching equals growth. And without it, you keep making the same mistakes, leaving tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table every single year.
In today's highlight episode, we are highlighting AI, the thing that is on all of our minds, and we are going to be covering everything that you need to know with AI. And here's the thing, make sure you click the show notes because I actually have a webinar coming up that you are going to want to be a part of. So go down to the show notes right now, make sure you register, and I will see you there. But with that being said, let's start the show.
Here's the real pain. As an agency owner or sales leader, you don't have the time or the tools to hold your people accountable to training. You're quoting policies, you're dealing with service, recruiting, paying bills, staying on hold with claims for 3 hours. You can't sit in on every role play, every call with every team member. And because of that, training gets pushed to the back burner. But skipping accountability is expensive. Studies show that reps who don't get consistent coaching underperform by about 20% compared to those who do. If your agency writes $1 million in premium, that's a $200,000 swing just from not holding people accountable. Think about it. How much money is slipping through the cracks in your office because training isn't consistent or measurable? This is where AI really changes the game. Speech AI listens to calls in real time, transcribes them perfectly, and makes sure that nothing gets lost. Language AI reads through the conversations, spots patterns and trends, where you built rapport, where you missed a buying cue, where you stumbled over your objections. Decision AI actually scores the call. Was the elevator pitch strong? Did you pivot into life insurance? Did you close with confidence? You get a grade. It's not just a gut feeling. And Coach AI doesn't stop at the score. It shows you what to do better. And even better, it role plays with you over and over until the words flow naturally. Now, instead of waiting until Friday's rush role play, your team has a coach available 24/7. And you finally get visibility into who's practicing, who's improving, and who's just coasting by. So think about athletes who wear Whoop. That would be me, or Oura Rings. I would like to consider myself an athlete, so I'm in. Those devices don't just track how many hours they slept or how fast their heart rate recovers. They actually coach you. They say, hey, based on your data, here's how hard you should train today. Here's when you need rest. Here's what you should be doing. Now apply that to sales. AI says, hey, based on your last 10 calls, you are absolutely crushing rapport, but you are losing confidence in the close. Let's practice that close until it's automatic. That's the difference. Data plus coaching equals growth. And without it, you keep making the same mistakes, leaving tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars on the table every single year. This is exactly why we built Agency Coach AI. It is the first AI sales coach and training built specifically for insurance agents. This is a full-blown software. It transcribes your calls, so you get a clear record of every single conversation. It grades your performance with Decision AI, showing you exactly where you're strong and where you need work. It role plays with you on demand, so you can practice objections, pivots, closes, literally anytime, anywhere. And it gives you instant feedback, so you don't have to wait until next week's team meeting or your next conversation to see how you can improve. The result is that you get consistent accountability without adding more to your plate. And that can be the difference between writing $800,000 in premium or crushing $1 million, between your team just surviving or actually thriving. Now listen, AI is not going to replace great leaders or great coaches. It's not replacing you. What it's doing is giving your team more reps, more feedback, more confidence. It's the assistant coach. It's not the head coach. And for new agents, this is gold. Instead of waiting for you to have the time, because you don't, they've already got a coach ready at all hours. That means they get up to speed faster. They make fewer mistakes. They're more confident talking to clients. It helps you even in the recruiting process to know who to hire and who not to hire. So here's your action plan for this week. Pick one sales call, record it, and run it through a transcription tool. Look at where you can improve and then practice that one skill set every single day for the next week. And if you're serious about sharpening your skills and holding your team accountable, plug them into Agency Coach AI. It role plays, it grades, and it coaches daily, giving you visibility into progress and saving you the time that you genuinely don't have. Here's the big picture. Training isn't an event anymore. It's not something you do once a week, once a month, once ever. With AI, and especially with Agency Coach AI, training becomes a daily habit. And the agents who build that habit are going to be unstoppable. We're saying this because this is truly where our industry is headed. AI is going to be the thing that sets you and your agency apart. It's going to be the thing that changes the game. So when you're looking to work with these people, you were looking to work with, let's just start with an insurance agent.
Sure.
And you get on this call. What are the obvious pain points that you feel like you repeat over and over and over again? Let's start there.
Yeah. Well, I think in most of your audience is probably a smaller business owner, right? They're running their own agency. Do they have assistants working with them? Or are they operating?
Most have a staff. So most are going to have a service staff, I would say, of 2 with a sales staff of 3 to 4.
Okay. So let's talk about the average. Let's call them the solopreneur to maybe they have 2 or 3 people working for them. The hardest part about that journey, and I just got over that hump. I now have 8 people on my team, is what got you there won't get you where you want to go. And what got you to even pull your agency together and get everything working and get your first clients was a lot of hustle and a lot of laptop time and phone time, and I'm going to do it myself. And it's a gritty attitude. It's hustle attitude. And it's like when you turn 18 and you're like kind of not really a kid, but your parents still treat you like you're 5. Like we do that to ourselves as solopreneurs. We just keep doing all the things because we're like, it's just easier if I do. So I see a lot of solopreneurs get stuck in a few things. One, they get stuck in a trap, especially at that size, around anything to do with nurturing their audience, marketing, creating actual materials. That stuff is either not being done or it's being done really badly, especially using AI. Because I talk to a lot of people and they're like, oh my God, I'm using ChatGPT every day. I couldn't live without it. And I look at the content they're creating and it's heinous. Like I would want to, it looks like reading it is like watching paint dry. I'm like, this is absolutely terrible. No, I have no idea what you're saying. There's no story. There's no heart. There's no authenticity here. It is complete robot speak. So easy win is that marketing content voice. And we can kind of go into the how of that. But when I'm talking to a solopreneur, I tell them every single solopreneur needs to have a trained AI that knows your ideal client persona. It knows your mission, vision, values, where you're going, why you're going there. It knows your 5 best client stories. What is the transformation that you've taken people through? Truly, like put the thing in there. Like she was in tears because you did this XY thing. Like what is the emotion? Bring emotion into it. It should know your voice. And if you don't have a voice, create a voice. Because if you don't have a voice, the authentic human voice is what's going to allow you to survive over the next however many years, because so much robot speak. So content marketing is easy. Of course, we'll go down a big time sales rabbit hole. I think anything around starting anything, like we should not be operating from scratch with anything. Making a decision. We're in a conflict with our partner. We don't know how to handle it. We can use AI for that. I need to spin up a guide for my client. She has a tree is down in her backyard. She's freaking out. She has no idea what to do. I want to provide her a step-by-step guide. That takes 30 seconds with AI if you've trained it properly. Those are the types of things that just are so easy that we stay up on a Sunday night and miss our kids' baseball game because we think that's the only way that it can get done.
So you said, this is straight gold. So you said solopreneur, but I would actually say like, even so, I don't know exactly the size of your company, but even with our company, a lot of what you just said, and we have 9 or 10 immediate staff and then multiple third parties. A lot of what you just said, we're using it for more than just what you're saying, but it's helped everything be more efficient. Like marketing, like Courtney's got that bad boy dialed in from a sales
100%.
standpoint.
Yeah.
We're using it to help train our sales team, look at calls, analyze data to pick like patterns.
Yeah.
And so I'm just like, everything you said, I think is just not for a solopreneur. It's almost,
Oh, it's
as a
every-
business owner, you
Oh,
have
totally.
to have
Or
AI
a
in your business
parent,
or
like
you're going to
I
get
go,
left behind.
yeah, a lot of what we teach is life and business. I mean, I'm across the board in every area of your life. There's so much you can be using it for.
I went hard on marketing. I went super hard on training this. She's a woman. She's working hard for me. I went
love it.
super hard on training her, and it actually came in handy because we're working with a new marketing team, and they actually gave me like the prompt that they wanted me to feed her, so she would kick back exactly like what the voice was, everything. So she sent this like 17-page dissertation on this is exactly how you train theirs. Like this is how the marketing team would use their chat GPT, but it would be our voice. I'm like, what?
Well,
this
yeah.
is fantastic.
Think about every time. So I teach people how to really build AI systems. I think we operate too much in ChatGPT, just the normal chat, and there's not any training in there. And I also think ChatGPT is like the worst content writer. Claude is so much better at content. And even if you go to the large language model rankings right now, if you look at content, Claude is by far the best large language model for content. And there are multiple large language models. ChatGPT was just the first one, so it's the first one that everyone goes to. But when we train the AI, it's the same thing as if, let's just say, you brought in. I said, guys, I've got a friend. Her name's Dana. She is a world-class copywriter. She is best in the world. She's done work for all these amazing people. You have her for a week. Go. If you said, Dana, write me a sales page. We do sales coaching for insurance agents. She would suck. She would be so mad because she doesn't know who you are. Like, what? She would have 100 questions for you, right? It's like she wants to know everything. So I tell people all the time, before you start anything, have AI interview you. If you were a world-class copywriter and I needed a sales page that never let a lead drop off this page, interview me with 10 to 20 questions that you would need to know about my business, XYZ business, so that you can be a world-class copywriter. Now we're doing this extraction process that most of us are missing because we're trying to jump too fast into it.
Courtney, that was way before I knew this like wave of artificial intelligence was coming, and so now it's like even more important to build a personal brand. And I talk about this in my new book coming out called The Hunter Head Game, where there's been 3 waves that have hit small businesses since the new millennia, right? Since we left the 1900s. That is, the first one is access, which is the internet, right? My dad, if he wanted to start a business in 1988 when I was born, he had to go to the library or like find an encyclopedia. Some people are like, what's a fucking encyclopedia? There was like limits to the information. So the first A is access. That was the internet. The second one was attention, which was social media, which is like you guys now have a megaphone. Every small business owner can scream at the top of their lungs, beat on their drum, get attention, get customers, and you don't have to pay the gatekeepers. Who are the gatekeepers? Traditional media, TV, newspaper, radio, billboard. That like went out the window, right? And so now while like we're in 2025, and so for the past like 11 years, I've been screaming from the top of the mountains, like build a brand, especially if you're an insurance agent, because like nobody cares about insurance, so you got to stand out. People are finally starting to wake up, and I'm like, oh, by the way, there's this new thing called artificial intelligence, and like it's coming to take everybody's lunches, right? And so I do think that people are adopting faster with AI, but here's why. I think like the first time the T-Rex came into the village and like grabbed a little kid and ran off, people were like, the fuck was that, a T-Rex? Right? That was access. And then attention, they came and grabbed them. They're like, I think the T-Rex is back, right? And now it's here again, another technological wave, and everybody's like, run! like freaking the fuck out. And so I think that's a big piece of like what we're seeing with the pickup of it. I literally just had a mortgage broker. I met with him about 3 weeks ago. He was using Calendly and like wasn't even syncing it with his CRM. So like manually was going in. He had like 15 things for people to fill out on his Calendly link, and he was like manually filling them. I was like, bro, there's this little thing called Zapier. Let me show you something real quick. So I helped him out, and like you would have thought I just showed a caveman fire for the first time, right? Like he was like, ooh, 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 you know? He's like, let me go take you up to the big boss and show him. And so like we go upstairs and like talk to his boss. And like, you know, I'm showing him Allie, our AI platform, and I could tell the boss is kind of like, whatever. This was 3-4 months ago. I just got a text message from that same mortgage guy last night. He said, hey, DJ, my boss just started using ChatGPT last week. He wants to have another meeting with you because he's like open to now understanding like what the potential is with this shit. And so I'm super excited. It's a lot more than just advertising. I think it's technology as a whole. You have the haves and the have-nots. You know, I'll just go ahead and piss everybody off in the first 5 minutes. You got the political pundits that are like, oh, you know, technology is the great like force equalizer, and it's not. If I wanted to win an elected office, I would tell you that. But what I'm here to tell you today is that it is a force multiplier for the upside and the downside. So if you didn't hop on the internet train, if you didn't hop on the social media train, and now you're not hopping on the AI train, you're getting further and further behind, and the people that are doing it are getting further and further ahead.
I would agree with you 100%. And I think a lot of people, so we were actually talking to an agent the other day. I got a text message from him because we're talking to him about our new agency coach AI, right? And he was like, man, he's like, if there's one, he's like, I don't feel like I'm very up to date with what's going on with AI and technology, but I don't want to get left behind. I absolutely want to jump on a call with you and just see what you can even offer to help the business. And so I think that's what you're hinting at, DJ. And I was listening to a podcast the other day with Tom Bailu, and he had a guest on, and he was talking about how the business owners that jump on the technology bandwagon, the ones that do it quicker are the ones that always advance at a faster pace and grow their business at a faster pace than those that are hesitant to do it. Now, I know that people in general a lot of people are hesitant, a lot of people are conservative, but AI is one of those things that is changing the game so quickly. We thought the internet changed the game fast. We thought social media. I think this is going to change things 10 times faster than the internet or social media ever even tried to do or considered doing.
You're 100% right. And hold on, Courtney, because I got like, this is super important. People don't need to get this, right? With the internet, it only moved as fast as people got online, right? You guys remember the AOL CDs? Like somebody listening right now, their first email address came because they got a direct mailed AOL CD. They're like, I don't know, put it in the CD-ROM thing, I guess, right? And it's like, bloop.
Straight dial-up internet.
It's like, you've got mail, right? Like somebody's like, I'm like triggering some like core memories here. So like, but the internet could only grow as fast as two things. People got email addresses, meaning they're online, and people created content, means they made web pages. Like there is no internet if we didn't make things, right? Social media, same thing. There are no social media posts if people aren't creating profiles and using social media, right? AI doesn't give a fuck if you use it or not. Some of these models are growing at 400% per quarter, right? Like, and so what happens is now you've got companies like OpenAI that is training their models with agents. And so it's called recursive learning, if you want to get like super nerdy, where it starts teaching itself. And so it's like, yeah, cool, Michael, in the beginning, I got a bunch of data sets and I got my initial training, and then maybe you start working with me. Now it's like, I'm just going to go over here in the corner and learn, right? And so like, it's just crazy, man. So you're 100% right that like first mover advantages are a real thing. And this train is leaving the station, and it doesn't care if anybody's on it or not.